Thank you again to the Chicago Road Brass for being with us. I know we just gave them a round of applause. Let's just do it one more time. We're so grateful they're here with us on this 507th anniversary of the Reformation. Amazing, isn't it? 507 years. It was actually October 31st of 1517, but we celebrate Reformation Sunday on the last Sunday of October each year. And so thank you for being with us. Welcome to any guests who are here with us and to all of those who are worshiping online. We know there's hundreds of our family and friends and visitors and guests just joining in with us. So today we're celebrating this great time, this great reminder that while the church keeps itself solid on the foundation of our faith in Jesus, yet the church also reforms, that we reshape, we change through the years while still holding to who we are and our values. And that's something Luther discovered. He discovered it when he started writing hymns set to bar tunes because it was what people could remember. Now we call those things good and old and traditional, but we love them, right? So people still do the same thing today. We do the same thing with entrepreneurial spirits, spiritual entrepreneurs doing new things and new ways to share this beautiful old truth and this beautiful story. So let's.
Good morning. So I was asked to talk about the importance of generosity in my life. And really I came up with several different ideas of how to explain that. And for your sake, I chose one. So I wanted to talk about how important it is to be generous with time and talents, which is something that I find that I do all the time. You see, I grew up in a Swedish Lutheran church. No, I am not Swedish. Yes, I can sing in Swedish. No, I can't speak it. And I became volunteering very young. My mother was a volunteer. And well, we had to host the Swedish smorgasbord at church every single summer, and that needed a lot of work. Carrying lemonade, waiting for somebody to fill their plate as they moved through the line, learning the proper way to cut tort. Those were all things I learned back in those ages. And as I continue forward, I helped out in the daycare, and I realized that that wasn't what I wanted to do when I grew up. And then I moved forward, and I was teaching Sunday school, and I was able to connect with others. Outside of church, there were so many other volunteer projects I did with my mom. She was always getting us into something. And I got to see my retired grandparents. My grandfather, who was always a driver, drove for Bloodmobile. And my grandmother, who was always a nurse, she drew blood for Bloodmobile. Or they might be vampires, but whatever. And so now I wrote my kids into those sort of activities. Whether or not they're stopping by the church and end up rolling silverware with me, they need to pull some weeds because we're going to be here anyway. Being able to train them to be one of those people in this world that sees a need and steps in to help. On a day like today, where we're singing all of the traditional music, you see the red everywhere, being generous with my time is a way that I have felt like I have been part of my family, my generous family. And it sort of knits us into the fabric of a church, whether we were back at our Swedish church or I'm here now. And that right there connects me with God's people.